What up, dude?
Oh man, how are you?
I'm good, dude. How are you doing?
Really, really well. Thanks for making time for me, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem, man. Thanks for taking your time out to do this, dude.
Of course, absolutely. Let's jump right in, man, because I heard that's you before I saw the story around it, and actually was came up on one of my playlists, and I was like, "What is this, man? I haven't heard from Drew in a minute." And so I like the song, added it to my playlist, and then I had a friend send me a link to a story I think Taste of Country did about how the song like blew the heck up on TikTok. Tell me about the song and tell me about posting it. I can't imagine like waking up one day and seeing like 2 million likes on something. That's just nuts.
Dude, it was wild. It's been kind of a wild story, my for the last year, I'm sure you know my story. If you've been in radio and you follow me on my socials, I had a record deal at an independent company called Cold River, and we put out a couple of songs on there, and then that label closed down right before the pandemic hit, and it was a weird little patch for me. It was like I was on the high, I was on cloud nine. I had a record deal, I had a publishing deal, I had all these great things going. We put a song out to radio, we were climbing up the charts, and then my label closed, and it was like stop. It was like, okay, now what do? I got to figure out, I got to find me, I got to write new music and things like that. And so, obviously, I've been writing since then. I've done a couple. I had a really awesome moment with a song called Senior Year, which allowed me to go around the country and play different graduations during the pandemic. I found ways to navigate. But this song, man, it's kind of changed my life in the last couple of months here. I had several friends. There's a new artist coming out called Lainey Wilson, who's going to blow up and do amazing things. And we've been friends since day one here. She was like one of my first friends in town. We've been friends for 9 years, probably 10 years. And I was talking to her right before going on Christmas break, and we were just talking on the phone and stuff. And I was like, okay, tell me about this TikTok stuff. Like, explain this to me. I don't understand it. I see you doing these videos, and they always look kind of funny. They're always doing, weird stuff and funny stuff and real stuff. And she goes, Drew, you just got to do it. You got to try it. You got to jump on there and do a couple videos. And I was like, oh man, all right, I'm gonna give it a shot. And so I it was so funny. Like I did like two or three a day, and it wasn't doing anything. And then we went home for Christmas break, and I wrote this song. And in Nashville, we're writing songs all the time. Every day, you're writing a song,
Yeah.
and you start to kind of lose. Hey, what's great? When you write something good, you're like, okay, that's pretty good. But what is great? What is great? We don't know. And so I wrote this song, and I had this melody in my head for a long time. And I sit down with my friends, Tranny Anderson and Jason Massey. And Jason Massey is an amazing producer. He produced the first two Kelsey Ballerini records, and he's just a really talented human. Tranny's the same way, just really talented, great with melodies, great with lyrics. And I had this melody, and I kept ending on "That's you," and they were like, "Why don't we just write that?" And I said, "Okay." So we sat down and we started writing, pulling from my relationship with my fiance and their relationships that they're in, and before we knew it, we had this song done, and Jason built a track at his house. And
Wow.
he's like, hey, dude, I got this track. Come over and sing it. I said, okay, cool. And so I went over there and I sang it. And I was literally on my way up home for Christmas. Me and my fiance are both from Southern Illinois. She's a little further north. I'm from Southern Illinois. So we were driving up to Christmas, and I got this track back, and I said, you know what? I've been studying TikTok, and I kind of see like, hey, this is what people do. They just play the song for somebody. So I
Right.
was like, we're pulling over, babe. We're pulling over right here. And I'm going to play you a song on my TikTok. And she was like, really? Really? This is what we're going to do? And I said, yeah. I said, you just got to act like you're smiling, act like you like it. And, but we pulled over, and I just pulled my phone up, and I just said, hey, guys, I just wrote this song for my fiance, and she's never heard it. And
Yep.
it's real. I mean, she never heard the song, and we played it. And I always thought the song was good. And in the video, she was like, what's it called? And she just said it. And we played like, you know, 30, 30 to 45 seconds of it. And
Yep.
I only had 300 followers on TikTok, like
Right.
nothing, zero. And literally, like, we went to Christmas. We're way out in the country. Her mom has no service, nothing. We're there for probably 5 or 6 hours. We get back to the hotel that we're staying at, and I pull up my TikTok. I was like, hey, I'm going to see how my TikTok doing. Most of the time I was getting like 400 or 500 views.
Right.
I mean, I just started it,
Right.
and I pull it up, and it's like 10,000 likes and like thousands of new followers. And I'm like, what is
What?
happening? Exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this? And before I knew it, like overnight, I jumped to 60,000 followers on
Wow.
my TikTok and, 200,000 likes, 4,000 comments, almost 2 million views. And it was just really special. And I wasn't prepared. I didn't have the song like finished and
Yeah.
or recorded. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I got to put this out now.
Right? As soon as you realize that, you're like, okay, we're releasing this thing. This has got to get out there. I wonder how it is for you because you have, like you said, you went from the being in a label and doing the radio tours and all of that stuff to your current situation. I wonder how you feel about social media, TikTok, Instagram, whatever, Twitter, and how they've changed the music business. I mean, we look at artists like Scotty McCreery, who was the first artist to go #1 without a label. He did it on his own. It's unbelievable. How do you think these things are changing the music industry? Do you think it's a good thing? Does it make it easier for people to discover music?
Yeah,
like they've never been before.
I think it's good and bad. I think there's a lot of great things that can come out of it. I know several artists now that are getting signed major label deals. And honestly, here in town right now in Nashville, they are not signing artists that don't have TikTok following. And that's hard. That's a little confusing for an artist that's been playing in bars and been doing this for 7 to 9 years.
Sure.
And that's frustrating. I mean, I'm obviously I've done that and I've been that, and that's very frustrating. And then on the other spectrum, for the 19-year-olds that's just moving to town, that was me. And to have the mentality that, hey, I can wake up tomorrow and be the next big thing in a 30-second video, and I can just keep pumping these out till one of them hits. That's exciting and fresh. And, people that are at home, the fans are now deciding what's getting signed. They're deciding what's coming out, which has never been happened before. Because most of the time you're sitting down and you're writing a song, and as the artist, you're like, hey, I think this is good. There's no real way to test it.
Yeah.
There's never have been that chance. And so now there's a way to test it. Do I think every song that comes out on TikTok is great? No. That just it happens that, hey, this got in the For You page and it blew up. Is it great? I can't say that it is, but people are reacting to it. And so I think it's a good thing. I also think it's a scary thing to think that labels are only signing TikTok people, to think, hey, if you're a TikTok artist out there right now and you're hearing this, you better be putting in your chops live. You better be figuring that out, because it's going to come back around where, hey, you're not performing in front of your screen forever. If you really want to do this, and I think that's where TikTok's going to have to decide, artists, of, hey, am I just going to create these video and these content, or am I going to go out and play shows and be live? And I think as a business for Nashville is we make our money off touring, and now you can make money off TikTok and different things. So I think it's going to change, like you said, change the music industry drastically, but there's going to be some bad and there's going to be a lot of good, because these people that are performing behind their computer screens and on their phones, they're going to have to figure out how to translate that live for a 90-minute show, a 2-hour show, to get out on the road and do that personably in person.
I think it's very well said. And I'm going to name drop for a second, but only because I feel like it's relevant to the conversation. I got to chat with Travis Tritt a couple of days ago, and we kind of got on the topic of everything. And he said the problem is some of these artists haven't gone through the honky tonk. And he's like, and it's important to go through the honky tonk because you learn things like what to do if a bar fight breaks out, what to do if one of your speakers goes out, or the amp or something like that. And he goes, and so, you put some of these artists who've become mega famous overnight on stage, and if something goes wrong, they haven't experienced it.
Yeah. And I've been really lucky. I've played all the honky tonks, and I've been there where you're playing on stage and the circuit blows. Yeah. Well, what do? You have thousands of people, and all of a sudden the power goes out. You got to find a way to cope with that and how to react. And, you just go to the front and play Friends in Low Places, and the place goes nuts. Whatever. You got to find a way to do that. And that's something that they haven't experienced. Some of these people, I mean, we're talking, which is hard for people that have been. Travis Tritt is one of them. He played honky tonks for years, and all these artists before they get a record deal. And I'm the same way too. You're a little bit envious of these people that have written one song. I know several people that have written one song in their life, and they put it on TikTok, and they've been singing for a couple months. I have friends that are that way. I have a new friend. His name's Bailey Zimmerman. He's close to my hometown, and he's literally wouldn't run song in his life. He's been singing for 4 months, and now he's sitting down to have a record deal meeting with Warner today.
Wow.
And that is mind blowing to think, wow. And then it's hard too. And I talk to him all the time. It's like, hey man, there's a lot of hard work. This is just one song. You're going to need to write 100 of these to really get who you are and how to present songs. Cause we're still going and, hey, you don't even realize the structure of a song yet and who you are and your voice. It's going to grow and change so much. And so I think it's great, but it's also very, very scary at the same time. And it's also, there's people that have been doing this for a long time, 10 years and stuff, that don't have that. So there's a little animosity, towards that. I mean, it's obvious it's going to happen.
I want to talk about this song Before You, because as I'm prepping for the interview, I'm looking at some of these songs, and it's a fantastic song. It really is really good. The video I thought was really great. I want to know, did Katie know you were filming this for the music video, or are these just raw videos you guys were taking on your vacation and then you decided, boom, let's put it out of the music video, man?
So I was planning that for a long time. And if you're listening to the podcast and you haven't seen the music video, it's literally just me on my GoPro and taking everybody through the steps on how I proposed. And this song, man, Before You, it was so funny because I was supposed to propose to her in Paris, in France. And 2 days before we were supposed to leave, the pandemic happened and all our flights got canceled. And so it was like, I had some of the lines in the song we're talking about.
Oh no.
Paris, going to Paris and proposing.
Yeah.
And so I had to go in the studio literally the day before we left and change the song to talking about going to an island.
Wow.
And getting down on one knee. And it was very stressful, but she had no idea that because I take videos all the time for my social media. And I said, hey, this would be really cool, like to get out here and just videotape everything we're doing. We can put it together and say, hey, we went on vacation. And she's like, okay, I love that. So the whole time it was just me like with my GoPro saying, hey, we're on the plane, and if you watch the video, it takes you through every step of me going to get the ring behind her back, hiding the ring. And we found some friends, just made friends on the beach. I did that day, some people from Iowa. And I was like, hey, do you care to come down here and film this? I'm about ready to propose. And they followed us down there and they held the GoPro while I got down on one knee and took it all. And that whole video is all shot on a GoPro and just edited it once I got it back and put it up.
That's unbelievable. I love that.
Oh,
we got to talk about Lainey Wilson a little bit, because it's funny that you brought her up. She's that personality. She's a fireball of energy and personality. I'd love to know the story of how you guys met and came to be friends.
Dude, it's a funny story. So I had a friend in town. His name's Sammy Arriaga, and he's gotten in the TikTok game and he's really helped me out. And he's got a couple 100,000 followers on there. But he was like, I met him out at a writer's night one night, and he did American Idol probably 10 years ago and met this guy named Johnny Drennan. And Johnny was an artist and he was staying at Johnny's house. And Johnny was dating this girl named Lainey. And Lainey was coming up to Nashville and staying at Johnny's grandma's house. Met him through a church function.
Got it.
And we're talking 10 years ago. So we would all get together all the time, the four of us, and we would just hang out. We wrote some songs, and she had a deal when she first came to town at a place called Cupid Records. And I would go over there and we'd write songs together. And we just became really like brother and sister. And I've been there through different boyfriends and things like that. And she supported me when I had my record deal, and we would text and she'd be like, hey, this is awesome. You're going to really do it. And then, we found out last week that she got on The Verge for iHeart, which is like an amazing thing as an artist. And I called her up and I was just in tears. Like when you're with these people for so long, and all these people, Luke Combs, Jameson Rogers, all these friends, I've been here with them for 7-8 years and written songs. And then you see it take off and it's like, man, these are dreams that we all moved here to do. And when you see this, you're so happy for them. And Lainey is the same person that she was when she came here. She's been a Spitfire her whole life and has that Louisiana drawl, and that's who she's going to be for forever. And I love that about her. And so it's really awesome when you see your friends start doing amazing things, because you saw them when it was a dream. You saw them when it was nothing, and you're just praying every night, hey, God, give me songs that can relate to people. And this new song that she has is definitely relating. I remember she played me the record. It just came out last week, but she played it to me, I feel like 2 years ago. She already had the record done. And I told her, I was like, that things a man ought to know. I said, that's going to be your song. I said, it just hits me in such a powerful way. And I'm just, I couldn't be more happy for her, knowing how hard this life of music is. And she's been here for 10 years, and just like I have. And those are the nights you stay up, you stress, you cry. There's roller coasters of up, there's roller coasters of down. And through all this, you just keep praying and hoping for that dream and that thing to happen. And it's really happening for her. And it's amazing.
So what is the dream and the goal for you at this point? You do have, that's you. It's doing really well, man. I mean, I think from my perspective, and as someone who's been lucky enough to work in radio for 20 plus years, it sounds like a radio hit to me. It really does. It seems like the kind of song that should and I think will get great airplay. Is it something that you're thinking, all right, let's see what happens here with this song? Are you looking to target another label to get back into that kind of thing? Like, what's the goal for you in the next couple of years?
Obviously, my goal is to be CMA Entertainer of the Year. I mean, that's in my head since day one. And the goal in life is for my hometown to one time say home of Drew Baldridge. That's my goal. That's what I want. And that's what I've strived for, is to write songs that create a passion for somebody that can relate to them, and that they can relate to it. And this song has really done that in a massive way. And of course, 100%, I want a record deal, and I want to take this song to radio. We've had 0 labels approach us. Wow. And I haven't had any label approach to me yet. And I think it's because, and this is me just speaking honestly, I had a record deal. I'm a little bit of I don't know if damaged goods is the right word, but they view that instead of just saying, hey, this is great songs or whatever. And I just want to put out great music. I feel like this is a great song. I'm with you. I feel like it could be a great radio song. That's why I produced it this way, to make it sound like radio and relate to people. And I hope that we can find a partner that would partner with us and send this to radio. It's already has hundreds of thousands of streams in a short amount of time. And we're putting the music video out this week. People Magazine is going to debut it, which is awesome and exciting. And I feel like we got a lot of great things going. And if a label would approach us and want to talk to us about it, I would 100% be down to do that. I just haven't had anybody talk to me yet and say, hey, let's take this. I love this song and I love what you're doing. And that's the dream. That's the goal, that we can get this on the radio and start working up the chart. But at the same time, my goal is Coop, is to just put out music. We're in a day and age where it's here and gone, and sometimes artists, and I have several friends of this at radio, that it takes 50 weeks to get a number one. I mean, let's be honest. It is what it is. And if you're waiting 50 weeks to put out music every time, guess what? You're only going to have, that's every year you have a number one song. And so I'm already working on the next song. I got this other song we're getting ready to put out in a couple months, and I'm going to keep pumping them. I'm just going to, because I'm passionate about it. I have TikTok. I have fans that are available and they want to hear my songs, and I'm going to keep giving them my music, because that's, at the end of the day, they're the ones I'm making music for. And if a label wants to come on and they want to do that, I would be open arms and say, hey, let's go, let's do this. I'd be down to. But until then, I'm going to keep creating music and keep having content to post. And, I'm on a tour right now that I created called Baldridge and Bonfires Tour, where I'm literally just traveling around the country, me and my acoustic, and playing in people's backyards. And I just posted on Facebook. It was like, hey, you want me to come to your backyard and play? I'd love to. And we got 55 of them from New York to California. Wow. And all the way up till middle of July, I'm going out and playing these shows. And that's why I make music, is for them. And I'm going to continue to put out songs probably every couple of months. I already have some songs in the hopper that are ready to go, and we're just going to keep them coming, Coop.
I love it, man. Let's do some quick fire questions. Number one, your favorite TikTok video that you have posted.
Oh, that I have posted. Well, obviously it's got to be the one that blew up, the one of me and Katie. And I can't say it's my favorite, but it's the one that reacted the most, so it's got to be my favorite. Okay. I did post one on there. It was like, you probably can't say this on radio, but it's like the one where it says doing country boy shit, and it's like going through, and I'm like cutting axes, hopping up, loading up the cow, doing all this stuff. And I was like, man, this TikTok's gonna blow up. And it just, you put all those work. Sometimes you put so much work into TikTok and they do nothing, and then ones you just hey man, how's it going? And then that one goes.
Isn't it funny? You do, because I literally spent, my wife and kids went on to go see her family in Michigan, and I spent probably all day doing a video that I thought was gonna be it, and I think it got like, I don't know, 100 likes. Like, you know what I mean? Like nobody saw this thing. Nobody.
Yeah.
I'm like, there goes an entire day for nothing.
Oh yeah, you could spend hours editing these TikToks and typing in words and things, and you know, the ones like literally that one I posted took me 20 minutes, and it was like, phew. I was like, oh, shoot, this is easy. And then all the next ones I haven't hit 1 million views yet. We've had a couple 100,000, but it's like, it's so funny. The ones sometimes you just like, hey, this is nonchalant, and it just blows up.
Number 2, if you could swap wardrobe with any celebrity, who would it be and why?
Oh, wardrobe, man, this is something I am so bad at wardrobe. Like, I think if I could, it'd probably be like Luke Combs, just because it's so chill and so easy. And it's exactly what I would do, just like flannel and a ball cap, and just make life so easy. You know what I mean? Like, I am not a flashy kind of person. And when I first moved to town, you know, you get all these people that dress you up and put you in things, and you're like, okay, this has got to be what it's got to be. And that's not me. You know, I'm not the guy. You know, 5 years ago, I was wearing button downs and they were putting me in nice clothes. And obviously, if I do a red carpet, I want to do that. But now I'm more of a ball cap and blue jeans and a t-shirt. That's how I grew up. And so that's kind of what I'm all about. And I think it's cool that Luke Combs can just be normal, and it works.
You're right. It does work. Number 3, the number 1 thing you do that annoys Katie.
Oh shoot, there's so many. And there's so many vice versa. I could tell you a lot that she annoys me with.
Yeah.
Let me think here. For one, she can't stand it when I watch like action movies or any kind of movie that brings her any kind of anxiety. That drives her nuts. But every movie brings her anxiety. So it's like, I mean, we could be sitting there and watching, you know, Cobra Kai, and she's getting anxiety about the Karate Kid. I'm like, really? This is Karate Kid. This is not anxiety. This is classic.
It's so funny you say that, because literally last night, my wife and I were trying to catch up on Cobra Kai, and there's the scene, I think it's at the end of the 2nd season, where Miguel falls down and he hurts his back, breaks his back. And my wife is
Buster, for everybody out there that hasn't seen it yet, by the way.
Yeah, spoiler alert. I should put that ahead. We'll do it in post. She's like, oh my God. I mean, what's he gonna do? How? And I'm like, babe, it's a TV show.
It's not
real.
He's
fine. He's completely fine. Too funny. Number 4, what's the last song that got stuck in your head?
Oh man, let me think about this one. I was singing probably "You're a Rich Girl and You're Gone Too Far, 'cause you know it won't matter anyway." I was last night, me and Katie were going over songs to play at our wedding, because we have still no idea what first dance song we're going to play.
Oh man.
And we were going through songs that were ours. And there's another James Taylor song called Your Smiling Face. And I don't know if you know, every time I see your smiling face, I have to smile myself, 'cause I love you. And it's totally not a country song, but those are the kind of, we were joking around last night. And then, so of course, so last night when I'm going to bed, it's like, I have to see your pretty little pal, give me inside out, something about you, baby. And I'm like, golly, just go away.
How I meant to ask you this earlier. How has it been going from, you know, you get engaged and then you're quarantined together for a year? Like and they always say that, you know, that the beginning parts of being engaged and whatnot is the hardest part. Has there been any strain for you guys? Has there been any, I need you out of the house for the day to get some space? Or have you guys, you're completely fine?
Oh, this is the longest we've ever spent together, because I'm normally out on the road 150 days a year.
Right.
And so we've been together for 4 years, but we are really great together. And we do get on. I think that's when I knew that she was the one, because I could just look at her and say, hey, you're annoying the crap out of me. And I love you to death, but you are so annoying right now. And she says the same thing to me. And so there's been times when, there's one time during quarantine, I just looked at her. I said, hey, you know what? I think you need to go upstairs and I need to stay down here for about 30 minutes. And then we'll miss each other and we'll come back. But besides that, man, I mean, we are so great. We can get on each other's nerves and laugh about it. I was telling her the other day, I was like, you're probably the most annoying person, but I love you the most out of everybody. And she feels the same. I don't know. I feel like that's marriage, honestly. And we just make it work, dude.
100%. That's marriage. That's what it's all about. Drew, look, man, thank you so much for the time. I mean this truly. I love the song. That's you. It is so good. I think it's a smash hit, man. I hope to see it climbing up the charts, and I hope to be denied for an interview next time because you're so busy talking to Lon Helton and everybody else, man.
Well,
Genuinely,
Coop,
I appreciate it.
I tell you what, man, you have been the only radio guy since this song come to reach out to me about this. So anytime, no matter how big I get, Coop is going to get the interview. So, dude, I appreciate you. This means the world to me. You know, I started a radio show. I do weekends out on Go Country, and I know what this is like being on air and doing these podcasts and things, and for you to go out and reach out to somebody and somebody not get back to you and things like that, and for you to reach out to me, man, that meant a lot, and I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. And I promise you, anytime you need something, Coop, you hit me up and we'll make it happen.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I believe in the song. Genuinely, I can't wait to see it blow up, man.
Thanks, dude.
You so much, Drew. We'll chat soon.
Sounds good, buddy.